Hello Casiopians and welcome to Digital Casio. Today we'll be taking a look at the CPA-100. But before we do, I'd like to say a big thank you to all my subscribers, new and old. If you haven't subscribed, please do. This helps support the channel and also provides new content. So let's get straight in with the functions of this watch. Press the bottom buttons and the top left button to enter diagnostic mode. And as you can see, a lot of the characters display. We can go through the different character displays using the bottom right button. Then we enter some numbers, which I have no idea what they do, but it's some kind of diagnostic obviously. Okay, then we press the two right buttons to enter demo mode. You can see here it scrolls through the different prayer times. Press the bottom right to cancel the demo mode. Press the top right button to activate the light. This video doesn't seem to do it justice. It actually lights up a lot better than what you can actually see here. It's actually a very effective light. So we'll go ahead and set the watch, bearing in mind that this is an Islamic prayer watch, so the setup is actually pretty complicated, but I'll go through it with you. So press the top left once and the Hijri calendar displays along with the moon age, which is actually related. Press the top left again and hold it to start setting the time. We can go through and cycle through your nearest time zone by using the right buttons. So we'll set for Chicago, and then daylight savings times, we'll switch it on. So the next setting is the 12-24 hour format. Change this by doing the bottom right button, use the bottom left, goes to the seconds. Once again, press the bottom right to change, and so on and so on for the hours, the minutes. And now we'll set up the date. So this has a 100-year calendar, which is quite impressive. So we'll set this to 2020. As you can see, you can go back using the top right button. So we'll do the month, March 27th. Now usually you can actually change the day and month format to the British standard. And then we have a beep, so you can mute the beep or you can have the beep sound. Next setting is the light, so when you press the light it'll be 1 second or 3 seconds. I'm going to set this one to 3. Okay, so that's the city, so we press the adjust again, and now we have to put in our longitude and latitude. So this is where things can get pretty complicated. If you set up with the standard city, it will give you your regular longitude and latitude, but you can adjust it. Okay, let me pause time here. The latitude comes up as north only. Now if you put in your coordinates online, or find your coordinates online, and you find out that you're south, then you would set that north to a negative number. If you're north, then you just keep it positive. And the same goes for the east and west. So when you select the west and you're actually east, you would actually go negative west. It's a little complicated, but actually makes kind of sense at the end of the day. So that's how you would set it up. Okay, let's resume time. Okay, so press the adjust button and we get the calc in the top right. So what that's doing is just basically putting in your prayer times for that particular coordinates. So now we can press the bottom right and we can go through the different prayers. We've got Isha, we've got Fajr, Sharuk, Zuhr, and back to Azhar. That's telling you that the next prayer is at 4:27, which is the Azhar prayer. Now just underneath that you can see Salat, and it's got a mute button. So press the bottom right to unmute that. So if you had it on silent, the time would flash, but it wouldn't actually make a beep. But we're still not properly set up, so what we'll do is refine this setup. We'll press the adjust button, and press it and hold, keep holding, and now we have a second setup. So now we can actually turn each prayer alarm on or off. Now press the adjust button again, and here we can do a date offset, so we can actually add or subtract days for the Hijri calendar. And finally we have the calculation method, which is the authorities around the world determined by your geographical location. So here in the United States it'd be INA, the Islamic Society of North America. So press the adjust button again and it will calculate, and now your salat should be set good for at least till the end of the month. So we can see that your Azhar prayer is going to be at 4:27, so let's adjust the watch to show you that in demonstration. So once the alarm's done, it will now show you that the prayer Sarah is active and how many minutes have elapsed. So right now it's sitting at 0. The top right shows you how long the current prayer has been active for. So that completes the functions of the Salat prayer alarms. So now let's take a look at the other functions of the watch. So the first function is the world time. We can use the right hand buttons to go through them. There are 70 cities in 31 time zones, and there's also customizable ones with T1, T2 and T3. And you also get a graphical representation in the magnified map in the top left. Next function is the alarm, of which there are 5 and an hourly signal. We can test the alarm by pressing and holding the bottom right. We can set the alarm by pressing the top left button, press and hold, and just using the right hand buttons you can go backwards and forwards through the hours, and bottom left changes to the minutes. Then press the top left adjust button again to set the alarm. So as you can see, it's just a 10-second alarm, and that's true for all 5 alarms. Next up is the stopwatch. Bottom right, start and stop the stopwatch, and the adjust button is your split time and reset. So while your split time is running, we can use the bottom right to stop the stopwatch, and then you can view the view times using the adjust, and last time to reset. The next function is the timer. We have this set for 5 seconds. The alarm sounds for 10 seconds and resets back to the original time. To set the timer, you have hours sitting at the bottom there, then you have the minutes and the seconds. Yes, you can actually do just a 1 second timer, which I think is a pretty cool feature. So that wraps up the functions of the CPA-100. Now we'll take a look at the watch. As you can see, the entire case is resin plastic with 4 stainless steel screws holding on the bezel. The buttons are resin plastic as well as the crystal. So you can see the watch has a pretty high profile with a depth of 16 millimeters. The bezel is silver on top of a black plastic case. The back is stainless steel and it's actually quite a bit smaller than the actual watch itself. You can see that the band attachment actually goes to the case and not overlaps the back, which makes changing the battery a lot easier using the 4 screws. Now the band is 21 millimeters wide at its narrowest point. It has this kind of semicircular configuration by the way it's attached to the case, so this watch can never lay flat, it will always have to be on its side. So let's put this watch on and see what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. Okay, so this is an oversized watch, kind of similar to the AE3000 in design and size, and it is just too big for my wrist, and which is unfortunate because I really like the functions of this watch. It's kind of comfortable, but it just sticks out too wide on my wrist. So that's the CPA-100. This is a very functional watch aimed at the Islamic market. There is no compass, so that might make things a little difficult, and it's kind of awkward to set up, but all in all it's a fantastic watch. Just a little bit too big for my liking though. There are 3 versions of the CPA-100. Mine is the CPA-100 AV. So I'll have to give this a 7 out of 10. I hope you liked this watch, I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and hit that bell icon. Don't forget to subscribe. Here are the stats. Ta-ra!